my hat. All right, put that bad boy on. All right. Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis. Me once again. Wait. Whoops. Wrong hat. I don't know why I have that. No. There we go. My hat was right there. Yeah. Anyways, what is up? This is Matthew Davis. Me once again. Welcome back to another movie review, aka After I Saw. This time it is going to be on Marcel, the shell with shoes on. Now, in this film, just like the title suggests, we follow a shell named Marcel who lives in this house that he's lived in for, I guess, a really long time with his family, but his family disappears, well, not really disappears, moves unexpectedly, and a man named Dean is filming a documentary about him. And when he puts it on YouTube, Marcel becomes an instant celebrity. People are starting to know him a lot, and they start making like tattoos of him, and people are talking about him on social media and stuff, and they actually come over to his house a few times. They don't actually meet him, but they just like go to his house like randomly, which is kind of scary for him a little bit, because mostly he's going on the internet to see if he can find his family, because he is very homesick. All that he has is his Nana, and throughout the film we see what he does in this house, and we experience a lot through this movie, like the fact that he's just a shell, but he does a lot of stuff with big objects, like he sleeps on a piece of bread, he shakes a tree to get oranges and stuff, and he actually does eat, and he uses honey to like stick to walls, like to climb up certain walls, and there's a lot of stuff that he does. And this is an A24 film, but unlike most of their films, this is probably the most family-friendly film they've ever made. I mean, it's PG rated, which is a rare rating for an A24 film. And this movie is not offensive in the slightest. The movie is not inappropriate. There's no sexual jokes. There is nothing in this movie that I feel like will offend kids. Though there is like a brief argument scene with a human couple. It's off screen and it's not, well, let's just say there's no cussing. But yeah. I was really looking forward to this film. I really like the idea of A24 going for a more kid-friendly route with this film. And this is a live-action / animated film that I don't think is based off of anything. It plays out more like an animated-ish documentary, because a lot of it is live-action. The only animation part of it is, of course, Marcel and the other shells, because there's more than just one shell in this movie. But I gotta say, what a beautiful and very moving film this is. Despite the fact that it's about a talking shell, I cared very deeply for this shell. And he or she, I'm not sure if it was a boy or a girl, but he's played by Jenny Slate, and wow, Jenny Slate is phenomenal as Marcel. I did not even know it was her until the credits rolled. Like, I honestly thought it was a child playing Marcel, but she was excellent in this movie. Like, she is completely invisible in this movie. I could not tell what her voice was, but she had me caring a lot. Like Marcel's personality is very precious, and he is going to win your heart instantly as soon as you see him on screen. He is very likable in here, and you just want him to go home, despite the fact that he doesn't always seem depressed, because he has this human friend that we barely see on camera. But I feel like they managed to have a very strong relationship, and he's not just there just to document, oh my god, a talking shell, this is totally going to make me famous. But no, they develop a strong bond together. And he's not fully alone in this movie. There's also his Nana, who is very close to him, and he's pretty much all that he has left in terms of his family that's around, that's left. But he is still determined to try and get home, reuniting with his family. And I honestly felt really bad for Marcel, because he tries to get people on the internet to try and help him out. Like, he does a live stream, like, please help me find my family, but none of it actually works, because people don't really care about that, because people just come to his house, like if they're like stalking him. Well, not really, but I guess they just want to meet a famous shell. I mean, they don't like try to gain up on him or just like do anything like that. But honestly, I felt bad for Marcel because it goes to show that you can't always trust the internet. I mean, the internet doesn't treat him like trash. Marcel becomes a big hit and people just love him and they have every reason to love him. And the fact that, they're talking shells in this world, it's not imaginary or anything like that. It's actually real in this movie. I mean, of course, it's animation and stuff, but the movie is very, very emotional and very deep, despite it being about the shell that has just one eyeball and shoes on. Like, it's very touching to see what was going on through Marcel's life in this home that he was just stuck in after his family left. And the movie is very funny too. Like, there are some very comedic and wholesome moments with Marcel. It was just hilarious. And the movie's not very long too. It's only an hour and a half, and the movie was never boring. The movie just kept moving for me, and you see a lot of Marcel. If you expect a lot of Marcel, you are definitely going to get a lot of Marcel. Because the movie is about him and his way on trying to get home. While we have heard this story of trying to get home before, it's not fully about that. It's mostly about him interacting with objects in his house and him learning about stuff that happens on the internet. And sometimes the internet can be a scary place, and sometimes not everybody is comfortable with being on the internet. But when he meets this famous person, he still is determined to try to get these people to help him move so he can try. And because there is a way that he can still find his family, because his family is still alive. But if I go any further, then I am just going to spoil it for you. And I don't want to spoil anything here because this movie it's what I needed to see. It's what a lot of people need to see. If you want a wholesome time filled to the brim with cuteness and a great, phenomenal, like, voice role from a very famous actress, then you're definitely going to get that here. This is a very moving film. It has really touched me, and it's a very emotional roller coaster ride, and there are some moments that are definitely going to have you tearing up. You are really going to feel bad for the show. You are going to absolutely love the show when you see him on screen for the first time. I'm just so happy I finally got to watch it because I had to wait weeks and weeks for this to get a wider release, and I'm just gushing so much about it. In the end, guys, Marcel, the Shell with Shoes On, is a phenomenal film. It's heartfelt. It's gorgeous to look at, too, not just with the animation, but the scenery, too. And it plays out like a documentary, but it really does. There are some parts where it does feel like a normal film. And it's done in a very, very unique way, and I loved every single second of it. And all I gotta say is I had a shell of a great time. And there is not a single thing I would change about this movie. A lot of people need to see this movie. I feel like this could be the type of movie that you could play, like, in your school. I feel like this is like the type of movie that you should watch with your school. And yeah, I definitely see myself watching this again in the future. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. We're out.